Welcome to Chicago. Today was the first day of the International Leadership Association conference taking place here in Chicago at the Hilton on South Michigan Avenue. Let me share with you some of the highlights from my experience of the first day. First of all, I attended a public sector leadership session on the issue of fostering public dialogue. I thought that this topic was particularly timely given the climate which the country finds itself after the elections. Much of what I heard there, I have been practicing for years, but it was refreshing to see the emphasis on this approach. The key issue being explored was to come up with compelling questions to guide public reflection. A process was introduced in which, after coming up with a so-called spark, questions would then be brainstormed, refined, and finally one key question would be formulated. In the group that I was working with, here's what we came up with. The spark to start with was provided by one of our group members who provides leadership development services for federal government employees. After some thought, the spark she offered was, the American experiment is close to failing. After much brainstorming and reformulating, the key question our group came up with was, what does the resistance look like? Gives you a feeling for the mood in the conference hall. Anyway, after that session, the ILA Awards for Lifetime Achievement in the field of leadership were awarded. This year's awards went to David Day, Professor of Leadership at Claremont McKenna College, Gail Fairhurst, Research Professor for Organizational Communication at the University of Cincinnati, and Robert Lydon, Professor of Managerial Studies at the University of Illinois in Chicago. To take just one of these award winners as an example, David Day is known for his extensive research and contributions in the areas of leadership development, identity, and organizational behavior. He has significantly shaped contemporary theories and practices in leadership development, making him a prominent figure in the field. The last highlight for me of the day was particularly special. At the evening reception and book show, I met a man named Nico de Klerk. Yes, he is distantly related to Frederick Willem de Klerk, the former Nobel Prize-winning president of South Africa. Nico had just written a book named No Fit, in which he described his 1,700-mile walk across South Africa. In his book, he describes how he visited underdeveloped townships throughout South Africa and learned and listened to the needs of under-resourced and neglected portions of the population. He had seen my advertisement for my book on network leadership on the ILA website and told me that the solution to South Africa's problems and perhaps the world's problems was better networking. He gave examples of how we helped to form connections between townships and activists, South African and European, and how this act alone had contributed to significant progress. It was a truly inspiring experience, and as a reward, I got a signed copy of his book, which I very much look forward to read. So that's it for today in terms of day one. Stay tuned. More here on day two tomorrow.